pronunciations, and before this there were some classes which I engaged, and in those classes you remember that I taught you the pronunciations. So it is really difficult to teach a class where only there are some chosen words, and to teach students only the correct pronunciation of those chosen words. You know what's the problem? That why most of the students, they are having broken pronunciations, wrong pronunciations. So far I have found out the two reasons. Number one, first and the foremost reason is this, that at our schools, our teachers, so I'm not talking about the schools which are located in the best of the towns, like in Karachi, like in the good cities, okay? So in those schools, like, students are having very nice pronunciations, and that pronunciation is called the received pronunciations. But I'm talking about the rural Sindh and the rural Punjab. But what happens that the students also from those remote areas, from those towns, they also reach in the cities. Like when they gather for the university educations, and then they suffer. Suppose you are speaking your own language, Urdu or Sindhi, any local language. You know, we have a trend to mix, some of the words of English. And there, suppose you make some mistakes, and those mistakes are major mistakes, then you feel embarrassed. I even don't say you that you have to make your pronunciation like those who are the foreigners, those who are Americans, those who are British. I don't say. But at least our pronunciation should be acceptable, and people should not laugh at our pronunciations. Because when you see our celebrities, like our cricketers, like our politicians, when they speak, they don't have like a quality English. So that trend represents our education system. So Pakistan doesn't have a quality of education system. So we are trying to improve as our own. The government is not taking any action. The government is not taking any serious, impactful steps, but people are trying to improve their education as their own efforts, on their own. So I'm also trying at my level best efforts to teach the children at town. You see that Umarkot is deserted, is known as the border area near the Tharpakar desert, and where the students are not very advanced. They are considered as the backward. My students tell me the stories when they introduce themselves that I'm from Umarkot, and then the teacher just gasp and they say, "Oh, you are from Umarkot, that far, you have come here to receive education. So there is the education like this that you have reached at this university." So people are amazed and stunned to see the students from Umarkot when they reach in the capital or in the higher cities like Islamabad, in Lahore, in Karachi. So this is really a great credit for the parents and for the teachers that they are sending. So there is a need to improve from the all corners, from the whole area. So I was talking about the reasons, and I suggested to you that there may be two reasons. One, that our teachers, they have unfortunately bad pronunciation. So one is the bad, other is the worst, and other is the worst. So unfortunately, in these 3 degrees, we have the pronunciations. We neither have the good pronunciation or the better pronunciation or the best pronunciations. But our teachers are mainly responsible for this, because students are the reflections of the teachers. When the teachers pronounce the same, the students would be pronouncing. You are pronouncing, why? Because you are reading, speaking, you are showing your ability the same ability that your teacher tend to possess. So I'm trying to impart my energy, and I'm also gaining the positive energy from you as well, that you do not know. There is a quote that I send my child to school not to learn from the schoolmaster, but to learn from the schoolmate. So sometime when you learn from your schoolmates, I think this is amazing that you even cannot learn from your school teachers. So try to learn not only from the school teachers, but from everywhere, from the movies. And what is another factor, that we don't have the atmosphere. Like when you reach home, you never listen English. Like your mom, dad, they never speak English. And suppose even they are educated, we don't have a trend, we don't have atmosphere. Even you have siblings, they are educated, but your television channels, hardly we tune any English channel. Do we? So we don't have any, Talking about the second reason, that is the dearth, the lack of having good atmosphere. Like when you go to home, so you don't have a good atmosphere of listening to English. We don't have good channels. We don't have like on the social media we have added all those people who are the family members, cousins, classmates, not anybody who is out of the world. So we have added the people, mostly the seen faces. So this is. So all the news feeds which are coming on the Instagram or on the Facebook, so they are from the known people. So from where you would be listening the English language. So from where you would be improving the pronunciation. So please improve your two things. Your education system, your teachers, they should work hard, and you should work upon your atmosphere. Then your English language will be improved. It's simple as that. Like, you see, these things will not help as much, but atmosphere can do at a grand level. So I've brought these words for you, and they seem quite commonplace. They seem quite simple, and when you read them, you think that it's not difficult, but they are. Look at number one word. This is smile. There is a little jerk in this word, smile. So we read it smile. It's not smile. Smile. And here there is a R, and we are not supposed to read this word. Read this letter. Word. Position. Because. Different. People read it as different. Then we have communication. Feeling. Difficult. People read it as difficult. Scientist. It's not scientist. And the subject itself is science. Science. It's not science. Science. Scientist. Example. Person. Another. Happiness. Sadness. It's not happiness. Okay. Anger. You have to pronounce the last letter very light. Anger. Fear. Surprise. Disgust. Ben. It's not been, it's been. Answer. Experiment. It's quite funny. So you all have been taught experiment, isn't it? Experiment. Closely. Information. Activity. Child. Most. Before. Better. Comment. Enjoy. Heart. Imagine. Hospital. Ability. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.